a translator, magsalin. And in fact, magsalin means to translate in the Philippines. That's right. So it signals to us that the story you are telling is not as straightforward as it seems. Can you elaborate on that idea? How using these particular occupations, filmmaker and translator, to tell this tale is in itself part of the story?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. The choice of a filmmaker was, well, partly it comes from, well, the filmmaker is actually based on my readings of the Coppola family. You know, Francis Ford Coppola, who did Apocalypse Now, which was filmed in the Philippines, you know, Vietnam and the Philippines. It's very interesting to have filmed that film in the 1970s when there was a dictator in power, and that's when I was growing up. So I was a child when Apocalypse Now was being made. And when I watched the film years later, much later, in the, I think in the 90s is when I watched it, and I was in the United States, I think, at the time, and the film, I was riveted to the fact that this is 1970s Philippines that I had grown up in, that I was looking at the landscape of my own country when I was away from that country through this film that was about a different country and a different horror than the horror that I had been writing about, 1970s martial law Philippines and the time that I grew up in. So all of these different layers of watching that film were very weird for me. I started looking up what the Coppolas were like, and I just started thinking about that I was fascinated by that. Now, of course, I had not read Jessica Hagedorn's novel Dream Jungle, and I think recently Viet Nguyen wrote about Apocalypse Now also, as from the Vietnamese point of view. But so the filmmaker is very interesting because we exist already in kind of a very mediated way. I mean, we're now on social media all the time. Our reality is so mediated. So that kind of existential way in which we do live, I think we've always, because we use language, we always exist in translation in some way. That's the only way we can communicate. So that aspect, filmmaking, translation, made me very interested in doing something. I decided to do something on Balangiga though, which was a place that's more related to me because I am from that area. I speak the same language as the people of Balangiga. I speak Baray.
Well,